You are all welcome, and let me first of all say Happy New Year to all of you. And it's not a bad idea if you say Happy New Year to your neighbor. Okay, you can even go ahead to say Happy New Year to your neighbor in your language. That's my part. Okay, we want to start. As we are here saying Happy New Year to ourselves, there are some set of Nigerians that are doing very badly right now. There's no Happy New Year with them because they had a very black Christmas. And that is the very reason why we're here. People from Focus, Arabic, and Mango had very black Christmas. So that's the reason why we're calling here, courtesy Stefanos Foundation, which is piloted by Engineer Mark Lee. So with that from now, we're looking here from the convener of this press conference, Engineer Mark Lee, to start off with the program. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for him. Thank you.
Members of the high table, ladies and gentlemen of the press, good morning. It is with great sadness that we have called you here again in just less than 1 year. You will recall that we last met in this venue on the 1st of June 2023. Then we were here with the leaders of Motherhood Community, who is even here today together with us. Motherhood Community is in Mango local government area of Plateau State. Today, we also have here with us leaders of the Ron, leaders of the Kulere, leaders of Biron. And we also have joining us today the Secretary General of the Plateau State Community Development Association, who is at my far left. Gentlemen, it is yet another issue of attack on Plateau State communities. This is most unfortunate. Gentlemen, today we are recalling with great sadness the event in the evening of the 23rd December 2023 when Stefanos Foundation received a distress call reporting an attack on a community in Bokos local government area. It was an attack on Kambar Peli of Kangor district. That day, 17 people were killed and many homes were burnt. The following day, when the local government area was trying to get itself around the situation, that evening, the 24th of December 2023, and you will recall that that was a Christmas Eve, many other parts of the local government area began blaring calls of distress. Later, when Stefanos Foundation's fact-finding team took careful inventory of the attacks, our report showed that between 24th and 26th December 2023, a total of 31 communities in 7 districts were attacked. covering 4 local government areas of the state, and this killed 238 people. We have a map, satellite map, dotted with those communities, as you can see. Gentlemen, you will agree with me that only a deliberately orchestrated and carefully rehearsed capacity can deliver such capability. You will also agree that it is not possible to attain such a level of militancy without the knowledge of the authority. Unfortunately, Stefanos Foundation observed sadly that the neglect of similar instances has contributed in getting the country in this situation. The sad reality is that many other attacks have happened unattended around this local government area in the past. Stefanos Foundation here recall with sadness these similar attacks of the same magnitude that have occurred in the area. 1. The Mango attack of April to July 2023. The Barakaladi attack of 23rd to 24th June 2018. The Dogona Hawa attack of 7th March 2010 in Jos South. The 17th January 2010 violence around villages of Jos North and Jos South. The Jos North riot of 28th November 2008, and the 7th September crisis of 2001 in Jos North local government area, just to mention a few. Presently, most of these areas we have observed have become no-go areas for the ethnic people, owners of the area. Instead, we have seen new settlements, new buildings, new houses all over these places. It is worthy of note here that last year, from 1st January to 31st December 2023, Stefanos Foundation recorded 686 instances of violence from 34 states across the Federation. From these attacks, we recorded 4,357 number of persons dead and 1,791 people abducted, yet this does not even show all the instances that have taken place that year, as many may have occurred unreported. In 22 years, from 2001 to 2023, Stefanos Foundation recorded a total of 5,344 instances of violence that have claimed the lives of 41,879 Nigerians. The record shows that 1,296 of these instances were Boko Haram violence that killed 17,406 Nigerians. Some 1,248 instances were of Fulani attacks that killed 14,605 people. Others include 2,716 violence of unknown gunmen killings that have killed 6,459. Some 84 instances of religious mob violence, killing 3,409, and a total of 11,552 cases of kidnappings all around the country. Yet, this is just a conservative number, as our record does not show all of the instances. And like I said, many may have occurred unrecorded. The situation where harmless, defenseless people are attacked and killed with guns and machetes in their homes. In the middle of the night, their houses burnt, properties looted, and the entire community displaced is unacceptable. It is even worse when the attackers are unapprehended, let alone prosecuted. This is worrisome for a country that is not at war. Reports from eyewitnesses and direct victims across board indicate to us that these attacks are carried out in literally the same style. Attackers dressed in similar fashion, targeting victims with similar profile. And I beg to say here that mostly they are Christians and they are religious minority and they are ethnic people in those localities. This has happened in Agatu, Goma, and Logo in Benue State. It also has happened in Kaboro, Zangon Kataf, Kajuru, Kafanchan, in southern Kaduna, Bassam, Rio, Barakinladi, Mangu, and now Bokos in Plateau State. And the list goes on. It is with renewed hope that Nigerians heard President Bola Ahmed Tinubu say in his inaugural speech that security would be given top priority during his tenure. At that time, it was Mangu local government area under attack. But up till now, as we're talking, there has not been any effective response. In fact, as we're talking now, Mangu is on fire. Instead, more attacks have now occurred, affecting 2 more communities of the state. Plateau's citizens have again had Mr. President instructing some security chiefs to move to the state and to ensure that perpetrators of these attacks are fished out. Nigerians can only believe this with hope that it would go beyond mere rhetoric and translate into some reality on ground. Stefanos Foundation is here to paint these realities of the situation to the entire world. The Plateau situation calls for an urgent action. We are here for you to listen to these people themselves. They are now in camps with dear need for food, medicine, clothes, and shelter. We are calling on all humanitarian agencies and the general public to visit the survivors and assist in every way possible. Thank you very much, and long live Federal Republic of Nigeria. Gentlemen, I will immediately give the microphone to the man that has brought us here. The Bokos local government area representative. Bokos is made up of 3 major tribes, the Ron, the Moshere, and the Bulere, and they have chosen a representative to speak on their behalf. All their communities have been attacked.
So, can you exchange the seats, sir, because of the mics? Maybe. Yes. Sorry, sir.
Stefanos Foundation. Stefanos Foundation. My name is Benjamin Shawen. I am the Public Relations Officer of the Bokos Cultural Development Council. Stefanos Foundation, ladies and gentlemen of the press, allow me to link to the already established protocol. With heavy heart and grief, I am presenting a brief press release by Bokos Cultural Development Council, Bokos Local Government, Plateau State, on the persistent genocide, ethnic cleansing, kidnapping, and land grabbing, and existential threat to its people by Fulani terrorists and their collaborators. We, Geron, Klere, and Mushere indigenous people of Bokos Local Government Council have deemed it necessary to call a press conference and explain to the world the threat to our existence owing to the relentless, calculated, and well-orchestrated plan by Fulani terrorists and their to exterminate us and take over our land. Historical background. We, the above-listed chieftains, are the autochthones of Bokos Local Government Area of Plateau State, Nigeria. We are predominantly farmers, that is crop farmers and livestock, who have existed with people from all parts of Plateau and Nigeria. The rise of terror, impunity, and violence against the Bokos people. Unfortunately, this wonderful brotherhood ruptured when the Fulani settlers began to invite and collaborate with their tribesmen from various parts of Africa who migrated annually to graze for pasture on a roving basis. These strange and often hostile and violent Fulani came bearing all sorts of arms and dangerous weapons with a motive to cause chaos. The unleashment of terror attacks and genocide on the natives of Bokos. We, the autochthones of Bokos, are not unaware that Nigeria is a heterogeneous nation of over 450 autochthones. In the last decade, we, the natives of Bokos, have faced tremendous and systematic dislodgement from our ancestral homes through well-orchestrated and organized genocidal attacks meted on us by the Fulani terrorists and their internal and external collaborators. In July 2016, our first-class paramount chief was murdered. By the Fulanis. Thereafter, 3 district heads were also gruesomely murdered. On the 12th April 2016, 20th May 2016, and 27 June 2023, respectively. These ugly scenarios have been consistent, isolated killings, kidnappings, rape, and other heinous crimes. The recent attack of 23rd to 26th of December 2023 was the worst hit, resulting in a simultaneous attack of 24 villages through a well-coordinated and premeditated plan by the Fulani terrorists and their hired mercenaries from Nasarawa State and other neighboring states, leaving us with a colossal loss and damages as follows. Number of people killed, 200. Number of people injured and are still in the hospital, 88. Missing persons, 4. IDPs, 19,000. Houses burned, 1,127. Vehicles burned, 81. Motorcycles burned, 187. Water pumps for dry season irrigation burned, 267. And churches burned, 8. The way forward and our prayers. 1. Care for IDPs. 2. Immediate rehabilitation and resettlement of the IDPs back to their ancestral homes. 3. Adequate compensation to victims and survivors of the attack. 4. Proper and diligent investigation and prosecution of the roaming killers and mercenaries. 5. Stop to wanton arrest of innocent indigenous youths. 6. Purge of compromised security personnel. 7. Establishment of the North Central Development Commission. 8. Immediate eviction of Fulani terrorists from our illegally occupied ancestral mountains, indigenous lands, and mining sites. 9. Recovery of all occupations. Recovery of all our illegally occupied lands and homes. 10. Establishment of the mobile police barracks. And 11. The ban on open grazing. Conclusion. We wish to reiterate that our people, that is the Ron, Bulere and Mushere, are peace-loving and accommodating, and shall never refuse to live with law-abiding Nigerians, irrespective of their tribe, religion, or race. However, we shall also never accept the antics of killer Fulani and their mercenaries who come to kill, steal, and destroy our livelihood. If their goal is to annihilate us through systematic genocide, then we take our case to the government and to God, our Creator. As Christians, we have faith in God, who created us and placed us on the land of purpose. He will never leave us nor forsake us. The fate of Haman in the book of Esther awaits those who think they are more human than us or have the right to life while we don't. Let the world know that as far as we are concerned, we have no problem with the Fulanis and are not engaged in any so-called farmer-herders clash. What we are witnessing is pure premeditated mass murder of our people by those who think and value cows and animals over human lives. If there are so-called clashes, how come we do not clash with other settlers or of various market in our environment and communities? Do you clash with someone who comes to kill babies, women, and the senior citizens, especially the media, who have projected our plight to the world and given the right perspective in their reportage? We urge you to continue to report the truth and shun those who want to twist the truth and hide the evil agenda and activities of our attackers that are now trying to use the media to wash away their atrocities in order to escape justice. God bless Bokos local government, God bless Plateau State, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Like we said, right now, as we're talking, sadly, Mango is still under attack, and you can see the leader of the Morgan Development Association is here. In fact, he is restless because he doesn't know the magnitude of what is going on there. So we hear from him about what has been happening in his location.
Gentlemen of the press, good day to you all. I'm Chief Joseph Walker, ASM, the President of the World Development Association, and I'm also the resident in Mangulo government area. Like my brother Stefanos has said, I've been restless this morning because currently there is a massive attack on the local government capital. Today, I'm constrained again to organize another press conference here. Having been here last year, Wahafon people, as I've said earlier, are one of the most peaceful people throughout the country, and are known to have accepted peacefully and peacefully hosted other ethnic nationalities, including the Fulani. You go there, you find the Hausa, they are a great number. The Igbos, they are a great number. The Yorubas, they are a great number. And indeed, other ethnic nationalities that we have in this country, living peacefully with the Wahafon people who are their host community. And again, the Fulani have been there too, living with us peacefully. They have intermarried with us. Some of them even speak the Wahafon language more than me. I don't know where we got it wrong. Because even my father, before he died in 1977, he had cattle with the Fulani. That shows friendship. So we don't know where we got it wrong. And that is a bitter truth. I don't know whether these people are coming from outside. Even if they are coming from outside, somebody must have invited them. And that is our great pain. It is important to note that at the moment, over 82 villages have been attacked and some sacked of their inhabitants, where their properties have been burned or looted and their farms grazed upon by Fulani painters, protected by well-armed Fulani militias. Many churches, schools, business centers have been wiped out, and the economic and educational activities of the people have been dissipated. All these 82 villages. If you see at the end of page 1, these are I've listed some of the villages that have been attacked, and some of them have left the villages because they are in complete ruin. And the people have left the place. And some killed. It is no longer news, therefore, that there is a well-planned and coordinated attack being executed against the mobile nation of Mango local government in the last 10 months. These incessant attacks have given rise to orphans, widows, and widows, with the economic lifeline of our people completely destroyed in the affected communities. At the last count, out of over 82 communities that have been attacked in Mangu local government from April to date, many are still being attacked in many dates, and the communities deserted. Like I said, I've told you, it's still on because the capital is under attack. It started yesterday, late in the evening. As a matter of fact, as we do this press conference today, there are still pockets of attack going on in some of our villages, with killings and destruction of properties from our community to another. The threats of any attacks from Fulani AIDS-men is not over, and our people have continued to live in fear, while many cannot go back to their homes, either for fear of being attacked again, or their homes have been completely destroyed. Just last week, we had sports of attacks in Meirana, Kuwait, and Sabot, where we lost 3 people, 3 young people, able people. And the threats of any attacks are still being received. Today, as I speak, over 82 villages have been attacked. Over 500 people have been killed. Over 200,000 people have been displaced. Over 200,000 people are living in IDPs or in the houses of their relatives. Some of them were traced to Port Harcourt, Lagos, and all over the places. They have left their ancestral land. Hundreds of hectares of crops were destroyed during the last famine season. Hundreds of children have been made orphans, and hundreds of women and men rendered widows and widows. All these are done with mission, and the mission is clear: to drive us out the land and occupy it. This is the only heritage that our grandparents hadn't offered us over the centuries. This is the mission impossible. We will not allow this to happen. Ladies and gentlemen, or the press, nobody can claim ignorance of what has befallen our people. As such, our people are prone to lack of food, clothing, shelter, medication, and above all, security. The return to our ancestral land is not negotiable. We therefore pray that immediate resettlement of these people, so that they will also exist as a people in Nigeria. They are also Nigerians. A special education program for the children who are no more in school as a result of the crisis. These are the future of tomorrow. Food, shelter, clothing for the displaced people. Trauma healing, because these people are really traumatized. Hard-working people, and become beggars, living on charity. In conclusion, we have never left our ancestral land in pursuit of any perceived enemies to attack and kill them, but enemies of the state have mobilized themselves. We believe at regional, national, and subnational levels to attack us. We urge our people to remain firm and unshakable in the defense of their ancestral land. And we will do so with the last drop of our blood. Thank you all. I remain blessed.
Thank you very much. We have, as a neighbor of Bokos, the Barrack Lagi, they were also victims of the Christmas Eve attack. And beyond, there have been a lot of crises that have affected Barrack Lagi. We hear from the representative of the Bureau. Actually, he is the president of the Bureau. Ethnic communities, organizations. So welcome.
Sorry, him can't his mic. His mic is not connected. Okay.
Good morning. Good morning, members of the press. The Stefanos Foundation, for which on its platform we are holding this conference. My name is Jan Dudu Daniel. I am the president worldwide of Birom Educational and Cultural Organization, also known as BECO, the leading organization in Birom land, covering just north, Riom, just south, and particularly local government areas. I will just give a summary of happenings in our own area of the land. And this will include the first incident ever, which started in 2001 and started in a remote area of just north called Trenia, where there was a misunderstanding with two people that snowballed into a full-fledged religious war in and around Jos. It never stopped from there. From that moment till today, we have witnessed sustained crises, sustained attacks on the livelihood and the land itself. In Birom land, only the antics have changed, but nothing have drastically changed from the order of attacks. It's either they come massively or they attack via picking people, waylaying people, hacking people on the farm, and in mining areas. The attack may look massive, but there is a guerrilla tactics being adopted as well. Women are not spared, children are not spared. When they meet you on the way, they hunt you down and they kill you. And these are mostly done by Fulani militias. Response has not always been easy because of the challenges of logistics and somewhat double dealings by security agencies. Most early warning signs of planned attacks are received and made available to the security agencies. Yet, such attacks will still go on. We wonder what is happening. The next thing they do is to arrest our young men who may want to put a resistance. And the next thing, the security agencies will round them up, and most of them are languishing in jails today. We are wondering why some people are above the law. There are people, we have named their names, they have been identified to be part of these genocides and activities. None of them have been arrested, and those arrested have been also released. What happens when they kill and maim our people? they take over the land, they take over the territory, and begin to erect buildings in those areas, and assume positions, and change names of those very localities. Mahanga, as it's being called today, is a traditional Birom settlement called Rakum. If you check the maps, you will see it correctly so. But it has been changed. And even a school was sponsored by the presidency during Buhari's period, where a school was named for the Ardo of Mahanga, sponsored from the presidency. We raised objections to that, and we were invited on that issue, and they stepped down. The location of those people tormenting us is not unknown, but the security agencies have refused to act. And we are calling on the world today to know that their hideouts are not in any way in the mystery. We know their hideouts. But why have they not been visited? The major crisis we have seen and faced since 2001 and have claimed so many lives, so many of our people gone. In the crisis of 2001, over 2,000 people were killed. In the same year, in the village of Fan district of Arikalati, an attack again came and 15 people were killed, including the district head. In 2008, there was mass killing and mass destruction of residential places, business premises, worship places in and around Jos and Hukru, and our people were dislocated from all the settlements in and around Jos. I am a victim. My father's house was burnt. Everything that has to do with our historical documents and very sensitive materials were burned in that crisis. That house is still in ruins in Chuanyam of Jos North. Churches have not been spared. And you will recall that in 2012, July to be precise, we lost a high-profile senator and a member of the Plateau State House of Assembly, Senator Yang Danton and Honorable Yang Fulani. These two individuals went for a burial and received an attack. They were chased until they lost their lives. These two high-profile persons are Birom people, and they were all killed. We woke up in 2010 in Dogo Nahawa. The traditional name is Gemruk. It's in Barkin Landi local government. We woke up that morning and 300 people were slaughtered, killed, women, children. The tomb is there. If you have spare time and come to Jos, we will take you to the mass grave of 300 living souls who were killed. More of these activities continued. In 2010 again, 12 people were killed in Bay. Bay is in Rion local government. Between 2011 to 2014, over 18 people, including women and children, were massacred in an area called Jaw in Rion local government. 2014, over 37 people, mostly women and children, were massacred in Bachi district. 2018, over 200 people were massacred in Gashis, if you remember the story of the Imam who saved some people. In spite of that, over 200 people were killed within the same incident. 11 June 2020, 10 people were killed in Rio, mostly at their mining camps and mining sites. August 2023, before the incidents of December 2023, 21 persons were killed in Hepan and Were and young gallant men were slaughtered overnight. I will not forget 12 people who were killed in Tanjong and Tarik village of Dog area local government. We have a countless list. It is sad that we are discussing the number of people killed as if those were not lives. Basically, this challenge started like a religious one, and it changed to the political. It gave itself a political coloration. At some point, you will think it is farmers and herders clashing. But eventually, from the connection of the various localities within the plateau, you will know that the mission is beyond politics, religion, or herders clashes. It is an intention to emancipate and take over our places. We are not unaware of the rise of by Magpie and their co-host trying to twist facts, trying to change the narrative. But I don't blame them. I blame the government. Let them interrogate. We have made claims. Let them come and interrogate us. We will take them to where these incidences happen. They are free to do the same and not to lay frivolous claims and trying to confuse the world by changing the narrative. We are the victims and will remain the victims until justice is done to us. We have people in IDPs till tomorrow, women and children, who have forgotten that they ever existed in any form of a territory. Our ancestral lands have been taken over, and these people are happy somewhere, feeling they have done something and they have taken over. This is like a conquest in the 21st century. And we are living in a country that is sovereign. We have surrendered our sovereignty to Nigeria, and this is the way Nigeria is treating us. I call on the international community to come, listen to our plight, and speak out, and talk to our president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to raise up a strong body that will check and stop this inequity among our people. We are Nigerians. We don't have anywhere besides this place that God has given us. We don't have any country. We don't have any link to anybody anywhere outside this country, and we will remain Nigerians, and we will remain people of Plateau State, and we are not living, and we are not surrendering any piece of our land for anybody, no matter the torment. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much. Plateau State is made up of about 98 tribal groups, and all these 98 tribal groups have tribal cultural association, and they have elected a president and secretary general to oversee their cultural activities and cultural development. We have with us here the Secretary General of PDAN, the Plateau Cultural Development Association, to speak on behalf of Plateau people.
Stefanos Foundation, a very dear and passionate friend to people of Plateau State, gentlemen of the press, compatriots. I am Comrade Abuja, the Secretary General of Plateau State Initiative for Development and Advancement of the Natives, the umbrella body of all the communities, autonomous communities in Plateau State. So those that have spoken are actually my branches. We are the umbrella body of these communities. My heart beats, even as I listen to them, pour out their hearts of praise. And especially with what is currently happening in Mangu local government area of Plateau State. To say, leave Plateau State alone. Enough of the blood bath. Enough of the blood bath. They need to keep the public informed. The Plateau Initiative for Development and Advancement of the Natives, PIDA, the umbrella body of all the 56 autonomous communities of Plateau State, once again reiterate our condemnation in strongest terms of the systematic attacks and killings of our law-abiding, peaceful and accommodative citizens by any group or persons by whatever name and reasons. PIDA is greatly concerned about misconception, perceptions, and misinformation by these attackers. The resumed, dastardly well-coordinated genocide has gone on for about 3 decades, despite our accommodative and peaceful nature. We wonder why we have faced so much hostility by some people while the Igbos, Yorubas, and the South have lived in peace with us without laying claim to any part of the state. People must learn to obey the culture of their host communities. Plateau people don't go to any state, to anywhere in the world to claim ownership of the place. Instead, they integrate and live peacefully with their host communities, participating in their activities peacefully. And we see no reason why others would like to claim our place. Plateau State, which has become a home to all ethnic nationalities across Nigeria, has suffered abuses and envy because of the rich mineral deposits which God has blessed us with. That is one of the major reasons that we have discovered, because Plateau State is blessed with rich mineral deposits. And most of the recent attacks can be seen to have been planned for a long time because of some of these blessings that God has endowed us with. And we frown at that. Our prayers, as enumerated by my compatriots, my brothers from the different communities that are recently facing the attacks. 1, we demand justice, fairness, and equity in handling of all cases of attacks in our communities. Yes, some of the community leaders that have presented their cases here are not the entire plateau, because there are some of the communities that have suffered such attacks, like the Uruguay, which is just a stone throw from the military outpost. Yet for weeks, killings were going on. There was no response. But when there was an instance of people who claimed that they were on their way to Ondo, and what took them through Basa, we don't know. Within less than 6 hours, the military, the security agency, both state and national, were there. And so that is why we say justice must be done to respond, quick response to our people, because there seems to be selective justice for the Plateau man.
And also, we discovered that there are places, like mentioned by one of my community leaders from the state, that these security men know are being occupied by these bandits, killers, yet nothing has been done about it. For some years gone past. In fact, one of the communities that was not mentioned by any of them is the attacker in Riom local government. It has completely been wrecked. Nobody is staying there. And the security are aware of this. And so it gives us a lot of worry that there has been no justice to our people in the state. We call on the federal government to strengthen the security architecture in the frontline communities. We call on the federal and state governments to return all internally displaced persons to their ancestral land with adequate security to prevent the looming food crisis because of these attacks. Plateau State is not just home of peace and tourism, but it is also the food basket of Nigeria. And I mean the food basket of Nigeria. Go to Bokos, where my brothers have just expressed their grief, and Mangu. These are two local government areas that part of the food of Nigeria, most are coming from. Potatoes, rice, maize, guinea corn, and so many other foodstuffs. And so this is something that should draw the attention of whoever is in power. We call on the security agencies to monitor people with unguarded utterances and bring them to order. You know, there are people that make comments, and I'm surprised that in the same country you are listening to these people. People even lay claim that they came to Plateau State, like the Mapan chairman in Plateau State. I think this man should be monitored and should be called to order. And last year, he came out and said they came to Plateau State before the Birons and Moabul. And the security had him, and nothing was done to this man. Most of them making unguarded utterances are walking free in the street. And we wonder whether we're in the same country with these people. But if this type of utterances are made, uttered by our people, in fact, give them 6 hours, 2 hours, they will be called them, they will arrest them. The government should ensure the implementation of white paper reports of Judiciary Commission. Let me tell you, when we talk of the 20, it stems back to as far as 1994, when there was a very serious crisis in Plateau State because of our accommodative nature. People have taken advantage of our peaceful conduct to claim ownership of especially Jos North. And the Judiciary Commission was set, chaired by NICON, and it came out very clearly to say that Jos North is owned by Birom Adisari and Ananguda. But some people up to date, as I'm speaking, still lay claim to Jos North, just because they have stayed in Jos North for a long time. And government is aware of this. We are calling on both state and federal government to come to the aid of our people by putting into use what this Judiciary Commission came out with as their own outcome, their own opinion. Culprits arrested should be prosecuted where they are arrested. It is very sad that somebody will be arrested in Jos, and the next time you hear is that the man has been transferred to Abuja. This gives us a lot of cause for worry. Let the person be dealt with, let him be prosecuted there to serve as deterrent to other people that will have such spirit, dirty in spirit. Distorted news carriers with false claims should be checked and prosecuted. as earlier observed by one of my community leaders. Yes, this especially the Fulani killer herdsmen, let them come and show the world that these are the communities they belong to. We have the names, even on the sheet that I prepared this text. You can see underneath the name, the list of the communities that all Plateau State. Nothing more, nothing less. You see the list there. These are the owners, the autochthonous, whose land is in their name. Nobody can even come from Mambu to Joseph and claim ownership of Joseph. No, from Joseph to Shandam, no Shandam to Baza. No, these places have the owners. And I can imagine that somebody is coming from a far place that you accommodate as is trying to claim ownership. When the Fulanis, let's say, there are about 7 communities were attacked in Bokos. What communities do they have? When you accommodate somebody, he becomes owner. And unfortunately, the security is not helping matters because there are distorted reports. In Bokos, in the last attack, the Christmas Eve of 2023, there was one of the victims who said he knew some of these people, that he could identify them. But they choosing it to mean that they are some people from the community. No! These are people they have accommodated. And they can identify some of them. And so this twisted, distorted report should be checked. And honestly, countries should be dealt with. Otherwise, this peace that is eluding us will continue. Finally, we want to put on record the wonderful work of Stefanos. That they come out with facts. And I want the world to know that when organizations like this speak, present issues, they are really presenting the issues as they are on ground. We want to thank you, Stefanos, once more. And the press, those of you who have always conveyed our feelings, our grief, we say thank you. I have received calls because I coordinate all these communities in the state. I receive reports every day, every moment, even as we were sitting here, we were receiving reports. That's why we can tell you confidently that Mambu is currently under attack. And so we want to thank you very sincerely. Once more, Stefanos, thank you, and God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much.
Thank you very much. Passionately, I will feel your pain, actually. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for question and answer. And let's do it sharply so that we can leave this place. As you know, just introduce yourself and then fire on your question. Okay, both of them. American first. Lady. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Medina Delta of the Voice of America. Stefanos have done a marvelous job of bringing all of you together, making our job much easier for us. But again, one thing you have not told us is how much you have gone in trying to file this report to the federal government. That's one. Secondly, Okos and Mambu are the most peaceful areas of Plateau that I have known in many, many years. What do you think suddenly happened that we are beginning to have problems from Mambu and Okos? What do you think brought about this affection amongst the people who have lived together and, as our chief has said, have intermarried and even have children together? Thank you very much.
Let's have another one first before we continue about the road. Okay, let's answer this one first.
Yes, thank you very much. From observation over the years, Stefanos has existed in this situation for over 20 years. We have observed that somehow our differences have been exploited or exploited. Starting from our religious differences, in 2001, as you heard the Bureau of People said, that was when these ugly events started. A situation where a young girl coming from work to go and have lunch, and because she was crossing, trying to find a path on a major road that was supposed to be a motorway, but because it has been taken on by Muslims for prayer, she was stopped for hours, awaiting when they would complete their prayers before she would go home. But when she tried to manage and get home from somehow, they followed her to the house and they hacked her and beat her and burned the house, together with her father and everybody that is there. This was the beginning in 2001, and this was what started. Before the elders of the community could understand what it was, there were militants jumping fences and shouting Allah Akbar and shouting, "Let's claim our land." That was a very serious issue. We as an organization, we recorded over 142 victims that were killed. I remember we presented a report to NICON. That's the report that you heard that was not, the findings were not ahead. They were neglected. So Stefanos always prints reports. We also print books that we make public. We have printed a book that is titled Religious Intolerance, a Threat to Nigeria's Unity. We circulated that. And in 2010, we started filing these reports that is titled Killings in North and Central Nigeria, a threat to ethno-religious freedom and democracy. So if you hear what the Bureau and all these tribal groups are saying, what we're seeing is a denial of every right. You see the local people who have accommodated settlers over the years, you see them being intimidated, and you see them continuously being attacked for no reason. And settlers, they neglect the structure, the legal structures that should bring about peace in the land, and they go about building houses anywhere. The moment you try to raise issues as a leader, they raise Allah Akbar and you become dead. That's how they have recorded most of their leaders killed. So this situation that has happened has been seen by local Nigerians as a jihad. Because many recall that similar thing happened over 200 years, and it happened similarly. And because from records, they could see that it's taking the same trend. People are convinced. And this is why the perpetrators target religious events like Christmas. They also target worship places like churches, and they target individuals on the street that are not looking like Muslims. And you can imagine that they tolerated these people and live with them. Fulani are everywhere in Nigeria. But the issue of Fulani attacking people is not only in Plateau State. We've had that in Benue, we've had that all over Middle Belt. We even had that in southern, southwestern areas, and even in the Igbo areas. So what is happening with the Fulani? And some have boldly said they are continuing the legacy of their ancestor, Osman Danfodio. And that is a jihad. So people are convinced that what is happening is a religious war. But you see, what we saw and what we encourage as Stefanos is for people to be law-abiding. And we encourage them to go to the to the law security agencies and report and seek justice. This is why we aid them to even come to the media today and speak facts. But you agree with me that many things that are happening on the ground does not give them chances at all, especially failure of security agencies protecting them. We've gone around all those attack areas. That's why you see the map. We have the satellite map. We can zoom and tell you this is where Mr. So-so-so was killed and slaughtered. And we have pictures, gory pictures of those events. Now, we're not talking about people being beaten. We're talking about lives being taken away. When is it going to stop? When will the children of these people you kill stop hating you? What kind of a society are we building? And so it is the effort of Stefanos Foundation to bring people like this and bring their plight to the world so that at least the international community will look at what is happening. What I think and what I don't understand is that when Boko Haram started in Northeast, immediately the international community looked into the matter and Boko Haram was designated as a terrorist group. What is happening now that is taking over the whole Nigeria as Fulani militia and has not been designated is what we don't understand. And if they don't do that, there will not be any structure, there will not be any measures enough at least to address this people. You can agree, when people carry arms in Nigeria, they are arrested, firearms especially. But Fulani are moving around with very, very heavy firearms. Freely. They are even aided by the security men. When we visited some of these attacked areas, you will see the Fulani cattle being reared within even the burnt villages. And you see soldiers standing there to guide what? They are protecting the people to take over their homes. Sadly, some of their homes have even been occupied by the Fulanis. And you cannot go there to say you came to your house. And this justice has not been done. So we are encouraging these bodies, we're filing reports, like you said, we forwarded reports, we published even magazines and sent internationally. Most of these books have been taken internationally and everywhere. We've circulated it even in the presidency. Nothing has been done effectively. That's why we're here and we'll keep coming until there's a solution. Thank you.
Sorry, can I say something? Okay. I'm happy that I'm seeing you down the line. I listen to us every day. When on my day, I'll put my radio and I'll tell my wife that I made you. So thank you for making you. I think the question you have asked can be discussed at the national level. For some of us who are about 70 years, we agree with the flag, and the flag are very good. Mentions of it. And I want to believe that the flag of yesterday are new. What is the flag of today? The flag of yesterday, we were very friendly. We ate with them. We schooled with them. We attended schools with them. But you know, suddenly, with this climate change, pressure on land. During our time, 1973, when I participated in the 1973 census as a young man, that time we said the population of Nigeria was 73 million people. Today we are talking of over 200, and the land has not increased. So there is pressure on land. The Fulani of yesterday will saw them with stick. The Fulani of today will see them with guns. What are they doing with guns? So this is not a question that can be handled by my local people. How many vulnerable people are there as compared to other major tribes? So they are rooted in all these small tribes and take over the land because of pressure on land. That's what it is. Because they are the rich. And you know, as I do, that Fulani there are about 7 countries in Africa. And our borders are so porous. And they move anyhow. And they settle anywhere. And because the characteristic is different from the one that settled with us over years, the one that was settled with us, they fear them. You cannot compare the person carrying gold with the person who is carrying a stick. You will fear the man who carries gold. So that's the situation we find ourselves. We are seeing life. Security agencies are seeing life. Government is seeing life. I've accused government. Apart from God, no one is stronger than government. Oh my God. Only government can control that.
Thank you very much. Okay. Later, Lala has a question.
All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The stories I'm hearing here this morning are really, really gut-wrenching. They're depressing, to say the least. But on the other hand, I'd like to just ask this question. How categorical should we be, rather, that the people perpetrating these crimes are Fulani men? Why am I asking? There have been a few cases in other communities where similar incidents occurred, maybe not on the scale where it's happening in Plateau, and then later they found out that the people behind these killings were politicians, politically motivated killings, culturally motivated killings, fighting over lands, just some crazy knots somewhere and just breaking havoc in the name of whatever. And then they found out that some of the cases found out that they were even images of that community, right? Just wanted to set a peace in that place and create mayhem. So I just want to ask, how sure are we that these are Fulani men breaking this havoc? I'm asking this because I want us to be sure and have a complete balance. You understand? So that's what I'm asking. Thank you.
And to add to that, if killings took place 3 days, there's no response from anywhere at all. We see that government is not doing anything more.
Thank you very much. How sure are we that these are Fulani? See, one thing with Fulani people, they don't hide. The association of the Fulani, called Magna, comes out to lay claim of carrying out this attack. And they even give you reasons why they do it. Yes, it's justified. What bothers us is we're living in a country where you go to authority, constituted authority, to give you justice. But the event where Fulani themselves or their group and leadership will take the law into their hands and begin claiming responsibility for this kind of attack, and yet they are not checked, is what bothers us. Our people have been patient, and they will continue to be patient. We are hoping that the authority will come to its senses and begin to address this kind of thing. It is no news. Even this one that is happening today in Abuja, it was Fulani people that stopped a vulnerable man on a motorbike and gave him a thorough beating. Why did they do that? So when they perceive offense and offense done to them, and they take the law into their hands, what do you expect the locals to do? So it is not news that it's Fulani that are doing this. And they come to lay claim. What bothers us again is that even at the eve of this killing, you get a response from the Sultan of Sokoto. And anything that's happening in Plateau State, the Sultan will respond. And highly respected clerics like Sheikh Gumi will come out and say Christians will continue to be killed until there are hospitals for the bandits. What is that? And we live in this kind of society with people like that. How more can we tolerate it? And this is the frustration. Even we who are trying to get the locals to be law-abiding are frustrated. Because you see people making utterances that naturally, when you make that as a local, you'll be arrested and you will be left in prison. But these people are neglected. They are allowed to even be highly placed in the society. So, what kind of a society are we living in as Nigeria? That's what bothers us as Stefanos Foundation.
My sister, we are very careful of ethnic profiling. And the courage of an identity is with the personality. I am you. If I act in a positive way, they will say the pure person. If I act in a negative way, they will identify the pure in me. So it is not with any altar of confusion or some people are trying to gang up to provide some people. Not at all. There are videos, even as recent as yesterday, of one of the persons that were caught, the Fulani confessing. I followed the video. He was being interrogated by security agencies, and he confessed to being a part of that. What they did in Biromland is what they are replicating in Mangu, and replicating in Bokos, and replicating in Kaduna, and replicating in Katsina, where they are dealing with the pure houses. It is everywhere you can identify that. So once an identity is seen, let us forget about the profiling. We are talking about persons who are involved in crime. And it is not even for us to justify that. What is the job of the security agencies, the TSS, and the rest of them? Let them go and unearth the truth. That's what we are looking for.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I'll take over. Ruben just stepped out for a moment. So who else has a question, please? Any questions, clarification that will help your report come up better? Please come forward. Your name and then introduce your medium.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Helen Samuel, and I report for CBC News. So we've gotten different demands from different groups and all that. If I want to be sure, we have limited time to tell the stories and all that. Can we have like a summary of what these demands are? There are so many speeches, so many demands from this group and this group, and we believe you are one. We are pushing the same message. Can we have like a concrete demand from this group to empower more? Thank you.
So let me just, we need a proper soundbite. All right, yes. So this is what we want, this is what we want, this is what we want.
I think it's clear if you can look at all those demands. They come with one thing. Our people need, at the moment, security. You need security to be able to live in peace. We were living in peace. What has happened? Where are the security men? How can they protect us to continue to live in peace in our homes? That's what we need paramount. The second thing that is clear here is that our people are outside. We need humanitarian support at this time. Our homes have been burnt. We are struggling with the realities of the loss of lives. And yet we don't have places to stay. We need to go back to our homes. Can they rebuild our homes so that we go back to our homes? That is clear. Some people are still struggling with wounds in their bodies, being hacked by machetes. Can we get some medical care? We also are struggling with trauma. You expect us to go back and live in peace with people we see as perpetrators. How can that be done without help? So, we need trauma care. We need some form of therapy to help us respect the people we see as enemies. If we must live in peace in this place. And honestly, all these people want their ancestral home. Land is some form of heritage. Land is a source of economy. Land is where we get our food and our livelihood. If that has been taken away and we are now left to even squat in cities, how can we continue? The shocking thing is the food security. Like we said, mango and bokos is the food basket. If we are not allowing and enabling these people to go back, there will be a lot of shortage of food in Nigeria in time to come. At the moment, people are even struggling with the cost of food stuff. What will it be next year? So, in summary, I think I've answered your question. These are matchstick, straight to point points of demand and request.
Thank you very much, Mark. Any other question before we wrap up? Anybody wants to say something, contribution, clarification? Yes, sir. Oh, great. Okay, good. Your name and your media.
Okay, my name is Olalumi. I report for this day newspaper. Olalumi Alamu. So this question is kind of controversial because we've been on this security issue for a very long time. And these people don't seem to understand what's going on because they are killing people every day. So don't you think like people can start to secure themselves, like get, secure themselves, self-help in terms of ammunition and stuff, because these people are doing it and they don't care about the consequences and they are killing your people. So don't you think it's time to harm your own people to secure themselves?
Okay, somebody else?
Yeah. Good morning. My name is Nna Douglas. I represent Wasobia FM. Sir, you've made so many. Your information has been passed and everything, and it's so emotional right now. Now, you said something that this security agencies, they know where these people are, and they have failed in their duties to do what they are supposed to do. Now, God forbid, if this madness, killing madness, continues unabated, what is the implication for not just Plateau people, but for the nation?
The first question, don't you think people should secure themselves? I hope we know that defense is a right. And if you fail to defend yourself, you have also failed in your duty. So, it is a right. And yet, when people have exercised some restraint from this kind of callous incidences and situations for long, then they should be commended. If people are allowed to begin to imagine what you are saying, to sustain, begin to secure themselves, then of course it's a form of anarchy. And who knows who can become a victim of such tomorrow. And this is why organizations like Stefanos Foundation is trying hard to bring hope in this situation. Because believe you me, if these Plateau tribes, who are 98 in number, come up to profile the Fulani, you will know that it will be casualty for Fulani in Plateau State. And that's why we say, no, there is law and there are security or law agencies. If you are agreed, take your matter to the security agencies and they will bring justice. What we are seeing is failure of justice, and we are hoping that the government who care about the security of this country are also thinking in the light of your question. If I am the president of this country, I would be concerned. Because if everyone carries out arms and begin to attack or secure himself, who will be the perpetrator? It will be difficult for this country to secure and bring about peace. And so that's why we are trying hard to stop anarchy happening in this country. So we are calling on government to rise up, do the needful, bring justice in the situation. You know, it shocked me when you said, are we sure it's Fulani? You know, Fulani have been arrested in Barakiladi. They were taken to court. They were in prisons. I hope you are not you're uninformed about the fact that they broke the jail in Barakiladi. They went to Jos in a very militant way and destroyed the prisons, killed even a warder, and took their people away. What has the government done about that? So these are the issues that we are battling with. How can we bring peace? How can we get people to continue to think good of Fulani in the light of this situation? So I hope I've answered your question.
Let me add this. I think we should also begin to look at the connection between the Boko Haram terrorists, the ISWAP, and the activities of these other Fulanis who are attacking villages. Let's begin to connect the dots and we will get to the root of these very issues. About defense. Yes, it is easy for me to secure maybe a license for a pump action. But how will you do with a man who is having a submachine gun? These are issues. Will you or will the government allow me to secure a submachine gun or an AK-47? So this idea of personal protection is one of the weakest way of thinking in a country that is sovereign, in a country that has one of the best military and the police force, and yet individuals are being asked to defend themselves. It's a shame. It is. All right.
As I pass it over to you, let me just say this. Life is sacrosanct, and it will be dangerous for you not to protect yourself. No matter how you do it, we cannot continue to tell our people, be patient, be patient, be patient. We have been pushed to the wall. And whatever means they devise to protect themselves, it has gotten to that. Thank you.
On a final note, before I give my vote of thanks, I'm actually wearing two caps here. As far back as 1988, right? The chairman or president of Stefanos Foundation and I were on campus together. We were friends. We were still friends. In 1991, okay, he finished a year ahead of me and he was posted to Plateau State. And when he told me, I laughed at him. I remember that day. I bent my head. I laughed. I said, Bruno, you know. The following year, my posting came. I was posted to Bruno. You know. And then he was the second batch, so I met him there. I cried. You know, my pain then was not that I was posted to Bruno, that he would laugh at me, you know. And he did laugh at me. And I went to Bruno, and I was posted to Moshe, one remote village where there was no light, there was no water, there were a lot of scorpions and snakes. I leave my pillow and there will be a snake greeting me, you know. My shoe, up to today, if I want to wear a pair of shoes, I will still bring it out and shake it because in the morning when you wake up, there are scorpions in your shoes waiting for you, you know. So that was the place I served. And I was the only female copper in the whole local government area. Everybody ran away. So Mark came because he had been doing some things in that same place. That's the mystery of God, the way God was. So on the hills of the Kunde Hills, so he had a project, the Christian community there. He was helping them build their houses, to build their church as far back as then, you know. And then he took us to the hills. You know, I was a young copper, pretty cool, pata, you know, but he took me up the hills. And we climbed, I saw the people, and Mark had built a dam, water dam for them, because every morning, you know the story, so that's our third friend. Every morning, as early as 4 a.m., the women will go to one tiny source of water, and they all queue there, and they stop the water to take back to their communities. And Mark expanded, he found the channel of the water as a builder, expanded it and built a dam for them. That was as far back as then. And then we went there, you know, they were singing for us, you know, and all that. And when we were leaving, we passed the night there with a few of our friends. And I remember that night, you know, I told her I was lizard, you remember? A lizard crawled to me, I screamed, and you know, I take it easy now, you know. In the morning, we were leaving the hills. So we're trying to come down, you know, and then they ran after us and said the king was calling back. So we went back. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what happened? The king said that he didn't have anything to give us. He didn't know what to give us. He couldn't thank us enough. I mean, by that time, Mark had built a dam, he had built a church, he had built, you know, just brought civilization to that place. And the king brought his first child, his first son. The heir apparent to the throne, and then handed him over to Mark. I said, go with him. This is not a super story, I was there. And then handed the boy over to Mark. I said, take him away. Here we don't give our children out. As a show of appreciation, take this boy away. So I held the boy's hand. Came down. I know the guy don't go far. He was used to climbing and coming down, you know. So he got down the hills. I bought him a pair of slippers. For the first time, he was wearing a pair of slippers. And then we got into Matt's jalopy car that time. And then we drove a distance. I was sitting with the boy. I just looked back and thought, Mark, something's wrong with this boy. Something's wrong with him. Before I finished, he vomited. That was his first time in the car. This boy today is Mark's first child. This boy today, when we come back to Jos, Mark took the boy to his mother. We were in school. I mean, he couldn't raise a child. I mean, he wasn't married then. He was just a bloody bachelor at that time. You know, so he took him to Mama. May God rest Mama's soul. And she did an incredible job of raising this boy. That was her last born before she passed. Raised Ilya. Mark sent Ilya to school. Ilya got married in Mark's house. Ilya, as I speak, has 3 children. So Mark is the grandfather. You see like this there. He has 3 grandsons. Mark also went back to the place to bring some of his siblings, and they're all with Mark. Why am I telling this story? Nobody today starts. Yeah, this guy. Nobody today starts as far back as 1990. He's been passionate about injustice, he's been passionate about people, he's been passionate about community development. He's been passionate about seeing things done the right way. And today, Mark, I just want to celebrate you. You are my friend. But publicly, I want to acknowledge that I thank God for your life. Thank God for what God has done and is doing through your hands. He will take you far and still use you some more to bring succor to the downtrodden and justice to those who have been denied justice. Please, let's put our hands together. So, on behalf of Stefanos Foundation, I'm a member of Stefanos Foundation, I'm a journalist as well. I want to appreciate all of you, gentlemen of the press, my dear colleagues, for making our time to be here today. We thank you for your presence, thank you for the very brilliant questions you've asked, and we pray your indulgence to sustain this tempo, to tell the story, let the whole world know what is happening, and let's find justice for those who have been denied justice. I also want to pray that you send your reports after they've been edited and aired. You send them to the Stefanos Foundation so they can monitor what has been done. Send to Ruben or send to me, and then so we monitor. And that when we call you again, you'll be available for us. I'm planning something with him, and I'll let you guys in on it. I'm looking at a situation where we take some journalists to do a sit-rep assessment, see these communities. Tell the story that this community belonged to A before, but now it's been taken over by B. Look at the raised down buildings. Look at, let's do a sit-rep, on this. We're working on that, and then we'll get back to you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Have a safe journey back, and God bless you. My name is Nala Mwewa. Thank you.